happened on Thursday, November 11th. The first game is the Raptors beating the Philadelphia Sixers. Sixers, of course, are still without everybody. They dropped a few games, but still the fourth in the East at the moment. And the Raptors, after some early season struggles, they are back inside of the playoff, top 8, 6-4 in their last 10. That's pretty good. They got everybody. They started getting guys back. Siakam was out this game due to rest. He should be fine. So Precious Achiuwa started, had 30 minutes. I don't know how he went 1 for 10. Maybe Drummond is that good. He went 1 for 10, but the 9 rebound, 2 steals, and 3 blocks are solid. But Precious Achiuwa, most nights just only give us rebounds. Playing 30 minutes just give us 9 rebounds, 9 rebounds. That's it. He usually doesn't bring the defensive stats. So we could leave him on the waiver wire. OG, not the best. 15 shots, 20 points. For OG is about the defensive stats. He just had 1 steal and that's it. He should be better than this. And Scotty Barnes. Looks like return of Siakam is not going to impact him that much because Siakam is just going to play at the center spot. They love that 3-man lineup. OG, Scotty Barnes at the power forward, and then Siakam at the center. So, don't sell high on Scotty Barnes. Right now he's in the top 80 range, and I could see him stay there. 75th ranked player. I could see him stay there, averaging 21 points. I don't know if he could average 20, but sorry, that is not the total stats. So Scotty Barnes right now is the 78th ranked player, averaging 16.6 points. I think he could sustain 17 points and 8 and 5 rebounds. And if the assists and the defensive numbers go up, he could potentially and he doesn't shoot threes. So if your team is pounding threes, that's even better. I could see him push to an inside of 50, if the peripheral starts picking up and the assist. He was a pretty good assist guy in college. Gary Trent Jr. played 36 minutes. The steals is back, had 2 steals. So I don't think he's going to average 3 steals, but 1.5 is a possibility playing on this Raptors team. He is ranked 44. That's still a bit too high. Any top 50 player I would trade because he's averaging 2.5 steals at the moment. Once that go back to 1.3, 1.4, top 70, top 80, still a must roster, but not like this. Even though he's just shooting the ball 41%, so I could see that number go up, and the number of threes should also go up as well. Fred VanVleet, his best game of the season. Fred VanVleet is a top 25 guy. 30 points, that's great. He really had it going. He's 22nd ranked player. Actually, this season he's been shooting the ball pretty well, 43.5%. Over the years, he's just barely 40, 39. Averaging 19.7. So he's really improving in that area. The steals, the assists look all fine. Inside of that top 20, top 25, unless he can really increase his steal numbers to 2, then he should be staying. He should stay in this range. Chris Boucher got 24 minutes, but I don't think we want to pick him up. This game Siakam is out. Cam Bridge is also out. I just like best case scenario he gets 24 minutes. So, when Siakam comes back, he's gonna go back and play 10, 15. So let's just leave him on the waiver wire. For the Philadelphia Sixers, everybody is still out. Danny Green played just the 18 minutes. If we want some defensive send threes, we could have Danny. I think probably just resting. He's played a back-to-back Monday, Tuesday. Just don't run him down the ground. Tobias Harris, 36 minutes. His first game back. Pretty good. Took 18 shots. 19, 7, and 7. Tobias is pretty boring fantasy player. He put up 18, 19 points and 8, 9 rebounds. Good efficiency, and that's it. Andre Drummond, the sell high window is closing. 12 rebounds, 4 blocks. Try to sell him once Joel Embiid comes back. He's gonna go back and play 15 minutes. Seth Curry, 15 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. An okay game. I don't think he's a must roster. just a points and three streamer. And Tyrese Maxey, now is the window. He had 30 points last game. He had 33 points. Now is the time to sell him for any top 50 player, any struggling top 50 player. Do a 2-for-1s to get a top 20 player, a top 30 player that's struggling at the moment. Like a Bradley Beal. Been struggling pretty hard. Do a 2-for-1. Tyrese Maxey plus I'm trying to think who's Tyrese Maxey plus Al Horford, or Tyrese Maxey plus Miles Bridges even for Bradley Beal. I think once Joel Embiid comes back, he's gonna go back to be that top 90, 100 guy. 100 guy, just it's good, but probably must roster. But you're probably just better off streaming that spot than holding, And especially for guys like Tyrese Maxey, if you look at guys that's ranked around 100, for example, Devontae Graham, he's 92nd ranked player. But it's clear that his weaknesses are what his weaknesses are and what his strengths are. Right? He's averaging 3 threes, 1.5 steals, 5.5 assists. All these are really good, but he's shooting 37%. So these guys, if you in a specific team build, it makes sense. Like if you're punting a few categories, Devontae Graham is the top 50, 60 guy. Then if you're punting field goal, for example, punting field goal and blocks, he's a must roster. But Tyrese Maxey, he give you good points, but that's about it. He is, after this game, 53rd ranked player, averaging 17 points. That's good, but everything else is, he's good efficiency, 50% actually. That's not sustainable. 87% from the free throw line. We'll see if he can continue doing that. So there's not one counting stat you just go look at, okay, this guy really fit my team. He's like a Norman Powell. Give you 17, 18 points and a little bit threes, and that's it. With good efficiency, of course. So if you have a good efficient team, sure, you could have him on your team. And again, I would really look to sell high after this game. 53rd ranked player. I think it's now the perfect time. Once Joel Embiid comes back, he's gonna go back, to be that top 100 guy. And he's shooting the ball really well. Gotta give him credit. 63% here, a steal and 2 blocks, 5 assists. He's playing some heavy minutes, but that shouldn't matter because he's young. He could play 38 minutes a night for the whole season. I don't think I would be worried. And with Tobias Harris back, I think some of the guys we could just drop, like Georges Niang. The 21 minutes we could drop him. Furkan Korkmaz is probably also a drop. Seth Curry is already back. Let's look at the next game. The Indiana Pacers beating the Jazz. That's no easy feat. Jazz is pretty good in the regular season. Their first home loss. There was a fight toward the end. A couple of players got ejected. But don't think that's too serious. There shouldn't be any, suspensions coming. For the Pacers, Justin Holiday, the 6 points. Let's not grab him as of right now. But who knows? Maybe at some point, he'll start playing 35 minutes. For Sabonis, 31 minutes. Not the best game for Sabonis. 2 for 10, just a 7 rebound. 5. He really struggled versus, Rudy Gobert and Hassan Whiteside. So that's understandable. He also fouled out in 31 minutes. Miles Turner, 30 minutes. Miles does fine versus guys like Rudy because he can go to the outside and start shooting some threes. 3 for 4, look at that. I bet all 4 shot attempts are wide open for threes. 9 rebounds, still and 3 blocks, so good game for Miles. And Chris Durote, still the 31 minutes, but the stat, he still took 14 shots. In this game, Karis LeVert is out, so we have to trade him. We have to trade him. And if nobody buys, I would even just drop him. You're probably way better off just streaming that spot, to be honest. And what's interesting in the last 2 games is that they play Malcolm Brogdon and TJ McConnell together. That is very, very interesting. Malcolm Brogdon, 30 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal, 2 threes. So Brogdon, like I said, Brogdon and Sabonis, I'm going to say this all season. Once we get to the second half, I would really look to trade them because that's when they run out of gas. I mean, Brogdon is already hurt. You know, he was in and out of the lineup, so it's the guy. And Brogdon right now, the ranking is super high. So if you want to trade him now, that's also fine. He's the 11th ranked player. If you want to trade him, he does this all season, and then fall off in the second half. You know, he gets hurt or whatever. So really look to trade him. And TJ McConnell, man, 30 minutes. We know what this man can do. Give us a lot of defensive stats. The assist. Well, when I say defensive, it's mainly the steals. He is the 115th ranked player. 5.4 assists and 0.9 steals. So the steal numbers this year, I guess opponents have studied him, knows, you know, what he likes to do. You know, just gotta be a little bit careful when TJ is around, not turning the ball over. He's obviously a must roster. I don't know if, you know, the past 2 games is pretty good. You know, I don't know if you get 30 minutes moving forward, but if you need assists and steals, I would just hold. Who knows, the steals numbers might come up. So good game from TJ. And good to, you know, Karis LeVert was out, so maybe that's why he played 30 minutes. If you can trade, this is also maybe a sell high. If you can trade him for a team that, you know, really need the assists and steals, maybe try to get a top 50, 60 back. Who knows? For the Jazz, Bogdanovic, man, Bojan Bogdanovic, he's really bad. You know, 131st ranked player, 16 points, that's fine, but just 1.7 threes. You want him shooting at least making 2.5 because he's not bringing anything else. The 92% from the free throw line is actually really nice. 92% on 4.3. I don't know if that's sustainable. I don't know if he go to the line 4 times a game. Maybe he would. But the steals, the assists, the rebound, the blocks, they're all non-existent. So you just really want to see him, you know, score a little bit more, like 18 points and 2.5 threes. That will make his game. Then he'll move out to the top 100. He's 131st player. You know, I don't think I want to drop him, but he's just pretty boring fantasy player. And just hold because he's, you know, he'll be getting 30 plus minutes on this team pretty consistently. The race on you, if you're playing points, like I said, you know, you could hold him and you could always stream him for some defensive stats and rebounds. Rudy Gobert also got ejected. You know, he had a fight with Miles Turner, 31 minutes, the 19 points, 11 rebounds. You know, not the best game. And Donovan Mitchell has been pretty good. He's been pretty good lately. He's shooting the ball pretty well. Let's look at Donovan's ranking. And I just want to say, I feel like this season, the overall stats that the top players are putting up is not as good as years before. Maybe because like guys like Kawhi Leonard and Kyrie are out. But if we just look at the top players, I feel like nobody's putting up that crazy numbers. Jokic obviously great. Curry is putting up, but as great as Curry play, he's just averaging 27.4 points, 5 threes. That's sure he could do that. And Paul George is number 3 with 2.5. So I feel like the top, you know, 10 top 5 players, their stats are not that crazy. Over the years, we have like Harden and AD, you know, just putting up like triple doubles. And Russell Westbrook. I feel like overall quality, like Donovan Mitchell with this stat line is ranked 18th. I feel like over the years that wouldn't happen. That would be like a top 25 line. 26 points is good. You know, 44%. Maybe a sell high for Donovan Mitchell. You know, I don't think in 9 category leagues he could be a top 20 player for the rest of the season. 1.6 steals. Look, if he can sustain 1.6 steals, then there's a possibility. We'll see. He's also shooting 90% from the free throw line, so that's good. That's probably a bit high. He should be around 85. But to me, yeah, he's the top 25 guy. But if you can get any top 15 player back, like if you can get you know, Jason Tatum for Donovan, I think like Donovan for Harden, I don't think I would think too much. Donovan Mitchell for Jason Tatum. I have to think about it. Tatum is, you know, Tatum should still be better than Mitchell, but it's close. So you're kind of taking a risk. it's not really a buy low, because Donovan Mitchell is already, he should be a top 25 guy. Tatum is the top 15, in my opinion, but who knows? If he can average 1.6, that changes the conversation. 1.6 steals. Mike Conley, 26 minutes, remains to be a huge sell high in my opinion. His ranking is also pretty good. 45th ranked player. Mike Conley plus somebody to get Bam Adebayo. Sabonis straight up, Joel Embiid, like all those guys. Jaren Jackson Jr. Like I'm looking to trade all, usually 1 for 1 for those players, and 2 for 1 maybe trade over, those struggling first round players, like Bradley Beal, Damian Lillard. Although Dame has been playing pretty well. The reason I don't like Mike Conley is he's an older guard. He kind of fall off in the second half of the season, and he's gonna miss a bunch of games. Hamstring issue had bothered him over the years. Joe Ingles coming off the bench. Let's not worry about Joe Ingles. And Whiteside, averaging at 17, 18 points, 17, 18 minutes this game. I think he could be a streamer for sure. 7 rebounds and a block. Just the blocks and rebound. That's it. Jordan Clarkson, the 24 minutes is real nice. Not real nice. The 24 minutes, 14 shot attempts, 11. If you need points and threes, he's a good streamer at the moment. I don't think he's a must roster. At some point, he could play really well, and on a hot stretch, then we could think about rostering him. Right now, he's not playing up to. He's playing pretty bad, so I don't think we have to roster him. Yeah, he's not even ranked inside of 200. So let's just leave him on the waiver wire for now. If he started playing better, then we could look to, to pick him up. And then last game, the Clippers again. Clippers, without Kawhi Leonard, they're winning games. 7-4, 6 in the Western Conference. So that's pretty good, considering they don't have Kawhi Leonard. Beat the Miami Heat. 109, 112. The Miami Heat are going to be without Jimmy Butler. Ankle issue. I think he's going to be out for, a week and a half. So there's not really anybody you want to pick up. Maybe Duncan Robinson or PJ Tucker. They get a few more minutes, but yeah. Duncan Robinson played horrible. Shooting the ball, but 2 for 13. He got off 11 threes, made just 2. But 9 rebounds, 3 assists, still in 2 blocks is decent. If he didn't have 5 personal fouls, he probably played a bit more. PJ Tucker, 27 minutes. I think with Jimmy Butler out, you could stream him for some rebounds and some defensive stats. He's not providing huge defensive stats so far this season. Bam Adebayo, 0 assist. Yep. Don't think. He had one game where he had 6 assists, I remember. But he probably just averaged 3 assists this year. Because with Kyle Lowry around, just not his role on this team has changed a bit. He's gonna score more points, but assists is gonna go down a lot. And 1 steal, 1 block is nice. We still want to see, Ben is a buy low at the moment. We still want to see him getting more defensive stats. Tyler Hero, great, and he had 1 steal. Look at that. Anytime Tyler Hero gets a steal, that's great. 23 points, 7 rebounds, and with Jimmy Butler in the short term, he's gonna get more minutes and more touches. I'm gonna look to trade sell him high for any top 50 player. His points look pretty, but low efficiency. He doesn't hit that many threes. He grabbed some rebound, but so he mainly just the points, and like 5.5 to 6 rebounds. Everything else is, his ranking is gonna be better than Kyle Kuzma. I know, because Kyle Kuzma's free throws is pretty bad at the moment, but I think maybe Kyle Kuzma is better than Tyler Hero in fantasy. I think, in my opinion, kind of similar, those two guys, but Kyle Kuzma gets more defensive stats. Gabe Vincent, 23 minutes. You could maybe potentially look to stream him for some assist, but because it's kind of hard to stream assist on the waiver wire. And with Jimmy Butler out, the guy's getting 23 minutes. For the Clippers, Paul George, great. Uh, Paul George is another guy. Like, hey, I would look to trade him maybe, toward the second half of the season, get that top five guy back. Like, if I can trade him for Karl Anthony Towns, if I could trade him for Jimmy Butler, and I'm just looking at the top guys, like, I probably would. First of all, he gets hurt a decent amount, and I feel like he's a guy that he hustles a lot. Feel like he's another one of those guys that might run out of gas because he's playing pretty hard the first few months, the first few weeks at least. Not really saving any energy, giving it all out there. So like a Russell Westbrook, right? They go hard, and he's not exactly young. Once we get to the second half, I just feel like the stats level gonna fall off a little bit. So yeah, Paul George is a guy. I mean, same thing with Jimmy Butler. I feel like those older guys, if they putting him up huge stats, Curry is a different beast. I don't think. If they're putting up, same thing with LeBron, like the guys over 32, 33, if they're putting up huge stats to start off the season, I look to trade them for a young guy. That's just me. Like, I would trade them for Karl Anthony Towns. The difference might be minimal, but that's how I think. The steals looks great for Paul George, 3 steals here. So far this season, the steal numbers look very, very good. It's for the past 2 years, he really hasn't been getting a lot of steals, but 2.5 steals this year. I don't think he's going to average 2.5, but 1.7, 1.6 looks like a real possibility at the moment, so that's great for his value. The rest, all good. Batum, right now, we have to grab him. He also a sell high, if he can. He's playing super well, and 35th ranked player. Had 2 steals and 3 blocks, 6 rebounds. Yeah, a must roster. I don't think there's too much. And a sell high, do a 2-for-1 to trade any top 50. I don't think this level of production, like this level of minutes, is sustainable. Tyrese Maxey only played 17. I feel like there'll be some games Tyrese Maxey played 30, and Batum played 25. He obviously played really well this game. Zubac, 30 minutes. Yep, Zubac's minutes is up and down. Not a must roster. You could stream him. You gotta look at the calendar. If the Miami Heat is playing, if the Clippers is playing the Utah Jazz, if they're playing the Miami Heat, they got big man presence inside, then Zubac's minutes is gonna be high. Otherwise, he just play 18, 19 minutes. If you give the man 30 minutes, he's a must roster. 11 rebounds, 2 blocks, but more often than not, he plays 20. Eric Bledsoe played 40. The minute distribution is a bit weird. Had one of his best games. I still think, like, if you can sell Eric Bledsoe for a top 80 guy, like I would, but I don't think I want to drop him. Even if he's like, his ranking is around 100 because he's got upside. And anybody with, anybody that can. Robert Covington is another example in category leagues. Like, his ranking is maybe just around 100, but they could go off anytime. Like, they could get 5 steals or 5 blocks. They could win you that category. Versus a guy like Bogdanovich, his rankings could also be around 100, but if he goes off, he scored 30 points. Him scoring 30 points, I don't think would help you win points, right? It's just a 15 points difference. That could be easily made up. So that's just, I think guys with, a lot of defensives automatically have higher upside. So even if their rankings, if you look at the whole season, is around 100, but hey, they could just go off and help you win. So Eric Bledsoe is a guy that I think could go off for like 4 or 5 steals. Not a lot of blocks, obviously. So I think it's still a hold. Also a sell high. If you can get a top 80 guy, like, sure, I don't think I would think too much. If you can get a top 80, like if you can get Derek White, right, who's also struggling. He's 91st ranked player. I would. A Ricky Rubio. But Eric Bledsoe is not playing exactly well himself this season. So not a sell high, just a hold. Reggie Jackson, 22 points. Yeah, Reggie's stats is, he's gonna give you points and some assists, but 113th ranked player. 18 points, sure, he could continue to do that. 3 threes, that's great. But 0.6 steals and 0 blocks and shooting 39%. I mean, if his shooting percentage go up, he could be around that 100, but just absolutely no defensive stats. I mean, he's got great length for a 6'3" guard. Like, his wingspan is huge. You would expect him to get some block shots and, some steals. But that hasn't been the case with Reggie Jackson throughout his entire career. And that's it, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow.